He's the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
How you high? No,
Greatest
high
Super Bowl
expectations.
I don't know what we're doing in that front office, man.
Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her.
Fuck.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches.
What is going on, folks? Welcome back. It's actually not the full podcast. Welcome to a post-game reaction, Thursday night post-game with your boys here. I am your co-host, Jalen Brown. No.
So, you kind of, I'm distracted.
G-Money, is it possible for you to turn your TV down just a tad? Because we can hear it and everyone at home can hear it.
Pound, they're welcome.
Thank you very much. Yeah, let's get right into it. We had a what was a good game at first between the Eagles and the Giants here on Thursday night. Eagles won nothing tonight. They had a participation trophy for showing up, I guess. 34-17 was the final score here. Yeah, this was a shock to all of us here. Eagles were 7-point favorites here on the road, and boy, it did not look like that at all one bit here. Let's start off with just kind of breaking down the first half here. G-Money, would you like to go first? What were your overall thoughts?
Well, the Eagles started off as we thought they should, running the ball with Saquon. And you're thinking when you start seeing this, like, oh, okay, this is the Eagles that we know and love. They're running the ball. They're going to set up the pass. They're going to go right on down. They're going to score. Eagles defense will shut the Giants down. And that'll be it. It'll be a nice, easy win. That wasn't the case. It wasn't the case at all. I think Saquon had like 8 rushes in the first half. I'm like, what are we doing? I mean, the whole idea of running, especially with Saquon, is it sets up your pass. You're able to hit AJ. You're able to hit all your receivers. You're able to, I think then their top receiver was Goddard in the first half. Your tight end, which really shouldn't be your top receiver. And kudos to the Giants and the Giants defense, because it's been much maligned. Thibodeau and Carter came to play. And when they came to play, when your D-line comes to play, it makes it a lot easier for your backers and for your DBs. And it seemed to me, as the first half unfolded, when the Eagles got punched in the face, they were stunned. They got punched in the face again, weren't quite sure what to do, and then they got gut punched, and that was it. They really had no plan. It was as though once they let the Giants score and score again, they were like, what do we do? Which is not the sign of a Vic Fangio defense. And the offense, I don't know where they're at. I actually had to, during the first half, look to see who their offensive coordinator was, because I'm not an Eagles fan, so I don't follow that. And I was reading about him, and he was actually promoted from within to keep continuity with what the offense was last year. I don't see the continuity, and Jackson Dart, I know on draft night I was pretty much shit faced, and I really thought they might have made a mistake drafting him. Well, I was wrong. I mean, he's going to be that wild card at quarterback for them. He can hit the deep ball. He's got touch. My only concern with him at quarterback is that boy needs to learn how to slide or go out of bounds, because he will get hurt. And then they're back to Russell Wilson. And when Dart went into the tent and Russell Wilson came out, they were booing him the moment he stepped out on the field. And I was like, oh, fuck no. And then he threw that, I don't know, wounded duck.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second, because I think that was the second half of the game.
That was actually the second half. But no, I mean, the Eagles didn't come to play. They watched the Saints from last week, saw what they did to the Giants, and thought to themselves, we are better than the Saints. We can move the ball on them, and our defense is better than the Saints defense, and we've shut them down even without Jalen Carter. We can do that. And they learned that, no, sir, you cannot. And your DBs, which everybody's known, and we've all said it, is trash. Your DBs are trash. That's why you picked up C.J. Gardner again after Houston released him, and you traded for another DB, because you know your DBs are trash. And if you don't get a pass rush, your DBs can't cover anyone. And we saw that. We saw that in the first half, and then they ran away with it in the second.
Yeah, Jackson Dart. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up his ending stats here. He finished off 17 of 25, 195 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. I thought he was seeing the field a hell of a lot better than the first 2 starts that he had, and moving around in the pocket a hell of a lot better. June, what'd you think of Dart's performance, at least in the first half of the game, or just all around? But
Yeah, I mean, first half, I thought that Jackson Dart showed command, and he didn't show any type of attentiveness out there on the field. He came out there and played loose, and it did help that your running game was going. That helped that young man tremendously. And to not have your top 1, 2, or 3 receivers, you're dealing with your 4th receiver and practice squad players. I thought he did a hell of a job in the first half on finding these guys and not turning the big thing is he didn't turn the ball over. And that was a big key to them. The Philadelphia Eagles cannot generate any type of pass rush at all. And Jalen Carter was out. And let me tell you, that seemed to be something. I know that the Eagles are supposed to be this deep team when it comes to defensive line, but it did not look like it with Jalen Carter out. They look like a team that was missing Jalen Carter. Like he's the only guy they have. And the Giants took advantage of it. Again, not having their top receivers and able to establish the run. They got Jack that first touchdown when he ran to the end. What were the linebacker? I don't know if you saw, he put that move on the linebacker, and that sucks for a middle linebacker to have to go up against a guy who's got wheels like that. But what type of defense were they looking at? When he strode, he didn't run fast. He came out, he shook the linebacker, and then just strode in. When have we seen the Eagles defense just give up a touchdown that easy, especially to a quarterback? Okay, so I don't know what's going on, but that first half of the game, that set the tone for what happened the rest of the game.
yeah, and I feel like Jalen Hurts here, switching gears to him, he was 24 for 33, 283 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Him and Goddard had it going early in the game, and
Mhm.
I don't know what happened, but they drifted away from going to that hookup, and it just seemed like it was
Mhm.
back to either Devontae Smith or AJ Brown. But Malin, I'm gonna go to you here. What do you think of Jalen Hurts' performance here? Because on paper, we were talking before. On paper, it looks like a pretty damn good game.
Hey, yeah, on paper it looks good. When you watch it live in the second half, it doesn't look great. This isn't their recipe for success. We talked about it just yesterday. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. G Money mentioned that first drive, man. They're gonna it looked like they were gonna give, Saquon more touches. He ends the game with 12 carries. Averaging almost 5 yards a carry, but they got outside themselves. Like they were down? They were down 3 or 4 at halftime, and you abandoned the run game in the second half when you didn't need
Yeah.
to. It didn't start really getting away from you until the fourth quarter. Like you had opportunities to still establish your run, but this is not how the Eagles are going to win football games. Jalen Hurts to Goddard is not your recipe for success. I don't know what's going on in that offensive room. I don't know who's calling the shots. I mean, shoot, June was talking about a 2-hour meeting between Hurts and freaking Barkley and Brown.
Yeah.
And what are you going to talk about for 2 hours, man? Just be like, hey, how did we win the Super Bowl last year? Oh, that's right. Saquon ran for 2,000 yards. Like that's your recipe. And it didn't make sense what they were trying to do. I mean, even Hurts, his offense was fine through the air, but even his running, he had no escapability out of the pocket. The Giants were all over him all night. Um, I the offense just looks broken to me. It's like you have enough talent to be running, like a V8, but you got like 3 solenoids bad, and so you're only firing off of 5 of your cylinders there, and you got a bunch of false starts. You got a bunch of you just like it just too many misfires on this offense right now. The Eagles just couldn't get it going. They just couldn't get it going.
Yeah, and it Saquon finished the game with 12 carries, 58 yards in the first half. I mean, he clearly didn't have it going much, but he was getting somewhere in the first half, and then by the time they kind of were trying to get that reignited in the second half, it was forget about it then.
He still averaged almost 5 yards a carry though.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the crazy thing. You abandoned it so quickly,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and you wanted Hurts to win you the game, and that is not.
No, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's never gonna happen.
Man.
Before we hit the dart kind of concussion scare there for a minute, I do want to mention that the Eagles were just not notoriously, but they were getting in their way several times tonight. Special teams had 2 different blunders on the kickoff return where he dropped it out of bounds near the end of the game.
Yeah.
And then I think in the first half, similar situation. Obviously, Hurts threw the pick near the end of the game. Dylan fumbled the ball. It just seemed uncharacteristic of a Super Bowl winning team to make those kinds of mistakes against this team. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on the errors from Philly tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't them that they usually do. It's usually they usually play a pretty clean game, and they've been living off of other teams' mistakes. I mean, think about the first game of the season. What happened in the fourth quarter? They had drops by CeeDee Lamb, which is uncharacteristic by CeeDee Lamb to have drops like that, especially when he's wide open and going down the field. In the next game against the Chiefs, you had Kelsey dropping the ball. Kelsey had that drop right there on the goal line. And then you just keep going and you see they've been living off other people's mistakes. And we talked about that too. You can't keep living because you're going to get a team that's not going to make any mistakes. And guess what? The last two teams didn't make any mistakes, but you made a plethora of them. Sirianni's going to have to change out. He's going to have to get an offensive coordinator before this season is over because this guy, because I don't know if you guys were watching the broadcast. I don't know if you had the sound up on your TV, but they talked about the coordinator. They said that he was the passing game coordinator last year. I think he was the
Maybe that's why
passing
they
game
throwing the
coordinator.
ball all over the damn place.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and they promoted him to the
mistake.
offensive coordinator. That's a mistake. And he's calling plays, and they said he's never called plays before. So you're not
Could've been
gonna.
the
That's
offensive
not
line
gonna help.
Your offensive
It's not
coordinator.
gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna help. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
I mean, I definitely think you're right, June, that they are winning games because other teams aren't necessarily executing. I mean, shit, even that Rams game, like the Rams
Mhm.
were up big, like what, 26 to something, 26-7 or
Yep.
something like that, 26-6. And then you have to block a field goal to win the game.
Mhm.
I mean, the Rams definitely folded on that one. I said it earlier to G Money. It's like the Eagles are playing 2 good quarters of football every game and somehow squeaking out wins because of the talent they have on that team. But it's coming back to bite them a little bit when your bad quarter of football is the fourth quarter, which it has been the last 2 weeks now. When the fourth quarter is your bad quarter, you both know, man, like this is a Jekyll and Hyde freaking year. It's like we're restarting every goddamn week on who's doing what. I don't know why I keep giving my money to the Hard Rock at this point. This is just fucking stupid, man. There's no reason why the Giants should lose to the Saints by 12 and then beat the shit out of the Eagles like they did tonight. Like, there's no rhyme or reason for it. So it's
Right.
like we always hear the term any given Sunday, but like really like that type of any given Sunday, like any Sunday, every Sunday, we can't trust anything to happen the way it's supposed to. Damn.
Yeah. G Money, I want to come back to you for this one. You mentioned like Dart needs to learn how to slide. That needs to happen.
Yes.
What did you think about him missing the last few plays of that drive where they were cooking? They had all the momentum, and it seemed like they were going to score, whether it was 3 or 7. Then he takes a weird hit on a fall. They trot out Russell Wilson, and the air sucked out of the entire stadium. What did you think about Russell Wilson coming in there for a couple plays?
Well, when the fans start bullying you when you step on the field, it is not going to be good. and we've seen this with Russell. He had the one good game against Dallas, but he had one good game when he was with Pittsburgh, and it carries him for a little while. But he's just not the guy he once was. In his mind, he may be, but he's just not. He threw that wounded duck. I mean, God, that was
such a
just
bad.
it was an
did that
ugly
get tipped,
ugly
or was
pass,
that
right?
He just threw it in the dirt.
He threw it in the dirt. He was just
I
bad.
think I think he was getting hit though, right? Wasn't he getting
No.
hit?
I think it was.
Lord.
Oh,
Stop it. Stop trying to give him credit.
I'm just trying.
It was just bad. It was bad. And you know,
miscommunication on the play, but it
Yeah.
looked ugly to everybody.
I mean, you could tell when he got up to the line and he started audibling. It was like, okay, he's changing the play to something he feels more comfortable with, but nobody else knew it.
Nobody else got
It was, yeah, and everybody else was like, Okay, same play. But Jackson Dart, he could have got a concussion, and then he would have been out for this game, the rest of
Yeah.
this game,
Broke his
and he
fucking
could have been
neck
out.
on me.
I
The
mean,
way the bottom of that face mask hit the knee
Yeah.
and his body kept going down. I mean, the way his
Mm-hmm.
his neck snapped back, I was like,
Mm.
shit.
but he continued to play that way afterwards. I mean, Dable has to sit him down because Dable knows his job rests on
Yeah.
Dart playing as well as he can, and to do that, you cannot be. Look, you cannot take on a linebacker. Maybe you get away with that in college, but I'll tell you what, you take on a linebacker, and another backer is going to freaking sandwich your ass. A safety is going to take you out. And then you're done for a couple of games or the season, and you never know if you get injured and it's a severe injury where you miss the rest of the season. How are you going to come back the next year? So he definitely needs to do that. He needs to learn how to slide or get out of bounds. You just don't take these people on. Carson Wentz can talk to him about that. You just don't do shit like that. And quite frankly, with the money you're going to make, if you succeed at quarterback for the Giants, you risk all of that. You take a hit, and when they took him to the tent, right, and then Dable away, and then another play went to, and I was like, no. It's our independent concussion specialist doctor is going to look at him, and then he'll come out and tell you. And whatever the one gentleman was telling Daboll, he did not like what he was hearing. And I was like, oh, is he telling him he's got a concussion? He's not coming back out. It's like you got to deal with Russell Wilson. And I'm thinking, you got Winston there.
Exactly.
Put Winston in. I mean, you see what Russell can do. What the hell? What do you got to lose? You're up anyway. And who knows? I mean, Winston could give you a couple of touchdowns and then you just run the ball the rest of the game. You do what Philly should have done, run the ball. But no, he has to learn. If he doesn't, he will get injured. And
I will say this.
He'll miss time.
Daboll, I don't think Daboll is going to try to correct him because Daboll is coaching for his job. And if Dart does get hurt, he'll be like, well, let me have a full season with him because he does get hurt. I think, we know how these head coaches go. But the weird thing about Jackson Dart, though, is that I was looking up, like, okay, so who's two other quarterbacks that run a lot in the NFL right now? One is Josh Allen, who is 6'5", 237. Okay. And he doesn't always slide all the time. Lamar Jackson is 6'2", 205. He's a lot smaller. He doesn't slide all the time. He bulls in everybody. Jackson Dart is 6'2", 223. He's not a small guy. He's like in between a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson type of player. But at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, like G Money said, they know when to slide and when to put the head forward. Jackson Dart is just put the head forward every single time. And Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson used to be like Jackson Dart their first couple of years in the league, but they've learned how to preserve their bodies. And we do see Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson go head first into things, but it depends on when you're going on it, right? Because we also see him slide. When Jackson Dart went head first on that one, it's at the end of the third quarter on a 1st and 10. There's no need to put your body at risk for that type of play. So he needs to learn when to do it, when not to do it, when is it okay for you to put your body on the line. Into the third quarter, 1st and 10, that's not the time to do it. You need to be a lot smarter than that. But he is, according to stats on ESPN, because he doesn't. I mean, I was watching the post game, and maybe it's unfair because he was next to a tugboat Scadaboo there. But he looks like a small guy. But he looks small compared to Scadaboo because Scadaboo's crazy. And don't let me get off this show tonight before talking about Scadaboo because that
We will.
man is fucking crazy. But G Money's right. He needs to learn how to slide. Like, you can go head first at times. There's times where the game calls for that type of effort, but it's not every goddamn time you run the football.
Right.
Yeah, let's just go right into Scadaboo there because he had a hell of a
Oh.
game. He finished with what, 3 touchdowns?
My God. 3
Mhm.
touchdowns, 98 yards, 2 catches for, I think, 12 yards. G Money and I were talking about him pre-draft on how much I liked him. And I ended up drafting him in the 11th round. I'm really proud of myself for that. So I'm going to pat myself on the back every time I can for that one right now. As long as he keeps getting me 14 points, but he finished with like 31, 32 points. He's just a bulldog, man. The one thing I will say though is we don't need any more Simone Biles touchdown celebrations. I don't need you doing a double backflip with your big chunky ass. I don't need all that weight landing on those knees after 2 backflips, man.
Yes.
I was worried as an NFL fantasy owner. I can only imagine what Daboll's thinking. Like, dude, chill the fuck out, man. Like, goddamn, like you're not out here winning. There's no gold medal for you when you land
Right.
that. I don't need to see him blow a knee out doing that shit. But he's one of those runners. You give him enough touches towards the end of the game, he's gonna start barreling through you. I think he had 19 touches running the ball tonight. Towards the end of the game, he started gashing them for 9 yards, 12 yards, 11 yards.
Yeah.
I love his attitude. I don't think that was really warranted, the taunting call that they gave him.
Yeah.
I still
all
don't
he
understand what
do-
that was about.
He was just running past the defender, letting them know that you didn't get the best on me on that. It's not like he stopped and like fronted on him or anything. He was just running past him. But you gotta love his attitude. I mean, there's gotta be a great nickname for Dart and Scadaboo. The only one I can come up with right now are the Great Whites, and that sounds racist and sounds like it belongs in the South. So I don't think that works in New York. So we got to come up with something a little bit better. But for 2 rookies, they're playing pretty well in a really tough division and media market. And they're fun to watch. The team is fun to watch when they're playing well. They weren't fun to watch
Right.
last week against the Saints, but the week before that and this week they were fun to watch. So go, and I'm nicknaming him Tugboat, by the way, because he looks like a fucking tugboat out there. Like he's just this big ass
Yeah.
blow donk that's gonna get you
Yeah.
10 yards.
I'm interested in how he's going to be the rest of the season because before we started the show, I read off their schedule and they got some pretty tough defenses coming up. So I want to see what this rookie combination is going to be able to do. Because in the end, you're still going to need your top players for this team. Because right now, basically, I was saying this, Jackson Dart feels comfortable playing with the guys he's playing with because everybody pretty much is third string and they was playing together all summer. This is the group that he played with all summer long and in the preseason. So he feels comfortable with all these guys. That's part of the reason why he's having some success because it's the familiarity that he has with these players. So I think that's one thing that makes him feel better because of the guys he's playing with. But for Scadaboo, I wanted Dallas Cowboys to draft him so bad. I wanted, and there was a lot of Cowboys.
He sold me on that Arizona State Texas game.
Yeah, and so a lot of Cowboy fans wanted him drafted, but I think Jerry wanted to get him later He didn't want to get him, in the third and fourth. He wanted to get him about the sixth round. He thought he would drop that far. I thought the guy should have been gone in my estimation about what kind of heart this guy has. The guy should have been gone in like the second round. I mean, all those teams in the second round, especially the teams that had double second round picks, somebody should have been picking this guy up because he's a good little player. They're going to pair him with another back. He's going to get some more help pretty soon. And, he don't have to be the bell cow because he is small. He's a bowling ball, but he's still small. And they're going to need to pair him with somebody else. But like you said, that in the fourth quarter of this game, when he started just gashing them, I was sitting there watching it, and he started hitting them, bam, bam, bam. And I was like, oh, Lord. And I know some of it, I did notice that some of it was the second string of the Eagles defense, but it didn't matter because he was doing this starting the third quarter. He was really gashing them. But I think the Giants really have something. Again, I'm curious because they're, the schedule is very, very tough. I mean, tough schedule. So I'm very curious on how good these two play in the next 9 or so games that they got to play. So
First thing is, Scatterboo does not look like he's 5'11", 215. I don't
no,
know
no,
what
definitely not.
and
Yeah.
I don't know what metrics they're using, but like I'm 6', 222, and they're saying he's 5'11", 215. I was looking at his arms. His arms are the size of my head. I don't know. He's got two craniums, biceps right now. That is wild. Hey, you know what? He might be the next Peyton Hillis. Remember Peyton Hillis
Yeah.
of the
Touchdown
Browns?
vulture.
He was the Madden cover that
Yeah.
one year.
Yeah.
You never heard
Yeah,
of him again. He might do that. He might be that guy. But as long as he's this guy this year for me on fantasy, I don't give
Oh,
a
good
shit.
Lord. Okay. Okay.
Speaking of not that guy, we gotta talk about Jalen Hurts this game and the mistakes that were made. Because listen, we did give Patrick Mahomes some shit for the 90 whatever yard pick six that he threw. This wasn't a pick six from Hurts, but that was like basically the game when he threw that interception while the Eagles were driving. He also had in the third quarter, he had Devontae Smith, who was on his way to the end
Overshot
zone.
him by
He
5
him
yards.
on that one, which if they score that one, we may be having a completely different conversation right now. So
Oh. When that ball left the air, Jalen, I was thinking this is how the Eagles end up winning by 4, and we still lose
yeah.
because
Yeah.
they end up coming back within 3
Mhm.
and score another touchdown, and they win by 4, and we're still going to be saying fuck the Eagles. But now we get to laugh a little bit about saying fuck the Eagles because it was just so bad.
Right.
But yeah, when he let that go, and you saw how open Devontae Smith was, you were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is."
I thought it
And then
was.
you saw it go way past him. You're like, "Oh shit, Hurts." Okay, all right, my
He did that a
bad.
couple of times. That wasn't the only one. He did that in the end zone too.
He did.
He did that
yeah.
in the end zone.
Earlier in the game.
And on the first early in the game, and then he did that a couple of more times. He overthrew AJ Brown on the sideline pass. He overthrew Dallas Goedert down the middle one time, and then the big pass to Devontae Smith. So I keep saying this. Jalen Hurts, yeah, he had 238 yards. Those were garbage times
Yeah, a lot of
yards, though.
Yeah.
That was garbage time yards. He was behind. You're
He
supposed.
easily
That's the
got
best.
about
That's
87 yards.
Yeah,
In
I
the
mean,
fourth
hell.
quarter when they were down. The one thing that I don't understand though, Jalen, and I don't know if this is cockiness or confidence, but I don't know if you guys caught this. G-Money, you tell me if you caught it. At the end of the game, it was like 2 minutes left in the game. They cut the Jalen Hurts kind of dapping up people on the sideline, and there was like this smug look on his face. It's okay, boys. We'll be back. We got this. We're still the Eagles. You know what I mean? Like it seemed like he wasn't phased
Yeah.
by the loss. And that, to me, that's a really fine line because he didn't seem to be concerned about it because he believes that, hey, we're still the fucking Philadelphia Eagles. We just won a Super Bowl. We're fine. And so to me, it's like, hey, is that confidence or cockiness coming out there? Like, because he clearly thinks, by the look he was given on the sideline, he clearly thinks that we're okay. Even after this loss, we're okay. We're still the Eagles. I don't know where cocky or
I feel like him being their leader, he almost needs to have that attitude. I feel like the problem is the rest of those guys don't have that at all. And it's like, at least not the stars. I don't know about the rest of the roster, but AJ Brown is a very much like, miss me with I don't care, man. We're down. We're losing right now. And it's like, there's
give me a book.
Right, give me a look. And also, is he going to be complaining about his yards again? Because these past few games, he's been getting the ball and they're losing. And so, where is that going to end up now? Because now, are you going to complain about losing? Because it's always something, it seems like.
No. What's the number one rule about wide receivers and what they say? They always open. Tom Brady told that about all his receivers that used to come to him. They always open. They'll tell you straight up. Michael Irvin used to tell Troy Aikman all the time, "I'm always open. Just throw me the ball." No, you can't just throw him the ball. No, that's not how this is going to work. It's not how this is going to work. But I do want to say something, Jalen. I want to bring this up, and you guys have mentioned it. What the hell was Brian Dable doing at the half, calling a timeout when the Eagles were about to get a penalty and the clock was going to run out? What are you doing? As a head coach, what are you thinking? What is your mentality? I was like looking at Nick Sirianni saying, "Damn, you can't. Your clock management is terrible." But then Brian Dable fucking helps you. Brian Dable, what the fuck are you doing, dude? What the fuck?
Those are my exact words in that moment.
Yeah. It's like, hey, the clock's about to timeout. We need to get our defense set. No, you don't. The clock's going to expire. They're going to get a penalty. The half is over. Don't give them that opportunity to have 2 seconds or a second left to make a play downfield. Don't do that. That's
his team was on offense.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe he was just surprised because his team was playing so well on offense that he really did think the Eagles were his team. No,
check his water bottle.
And
check his Gatorade bottle.
Now, when Jackson Dart was in the tent, you could see him outside of the tent. And I don't know if you guys can read mouse or whatever, but it looked to me like he was going like, get him out of the fucking tent.
Yeah.
He did say that.
I'm like, okay, so player safety.
Right.
We won't give a shit about the fact your quarterback almost lost his head. You're like, get him out of the fucking tent. I don't want to put Wilson back out there.
Yeah, because that's when he was doing that, and then he comes back to the field, sees Russell Wilson do that, and that's when he goes to the doctor, and he's like, get him out here. Like, what are you doing?
See, that's where job security trumps player safety.
Yeah.
It's like,
we're like, we care about player safety. I'm sure the NFL loved seeing that unfold on live TV.
He's gonna be getting a call. He's going to be getting a phone call on Monday morning.
Even Scatterboo was in the tent. He's like, listen, guys, my calf hurts. Hey, Jackson, how you doing, buddy? You good? Like, you're not gonna make me go back out there with Wilson, right? Like,
this is the wrong tent.
It's like, it's Thursday, right? It's October 9th, right? You know that. Good.
Like, hey, it's Thursday. You're gonna get 10 days between the next game. Let's finish this one. But how bad is Russell Wilson fallen to where, I mean, I've never seen head coaches and other players going into a medical tent looking at a
Yeah,
rookie quarterback. It's played maybe 3/4 of good football before this game happened. And like, son, we need you. Like, we do not want number 3 back.
By 14. Wasn't they up by 14 at the time?
Yeah, yeah. And it was
I do.
immediately. It wasn't like
Yeah.
Dart was in there for a while. It was like as soon as he went in there, Dayball was right
Oh.
behind him.
Dayball was there.
He
The
was, yeah.
Scattergood went right in
Yeah.
behind him, and they had to
Just a
push
weird
Scattergood
situation.
out of the tent. I've never seen people go into a tent like that, man.
Now,
Like,
Dable
like-
might as well count his days.
Like Russell's gonna
They
see
count his
that on
days.
Sports Center and be like, "God damn! Like y'all really don't like me."
Yeah, Dable's counting his days right now. I think he knows the end is inevitable. He's trying to save face.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was a good game. I enjoyed it overall. Is there anything else you guys want to mention before we wrap this thing up here?
I do want to say this about the Eagles, me being a Cowboys fan.
Uh-huh.
So it's totally non-biased, completely non-biased. Go ahead and tell us how the secondary is trash.
So hasn't whooped on Thursday night football by the Giants. That's terrible. You're fucking terrible. Oh, that's all I wanted to say.
I would say, Jalen, you've been calling for Sirianni's job for a while. Even
have.
after they won the Super Bowl, you thought he should be fired. Yeah. So for him to embarrass us the way that they did after we picked the Eagles -7
Oh, buddy.
for that to happen, fuck you, Sirianni. You're an asshole. And
Yes.
like I said before the show started, the Eagles should have got rid of Sirianni, promoted Kellen Moore, because Kellen Moore at least knows how to beat the Giants, as he did last week with the Saints. It is like maybe an eighth of the roster, talent-wise, did the Eagles have.
Right.
And then you went out there in the New York and got mollywopped by Daboll. So fuck you, Sirianni. I'm with you, Jalen. No, lose his ass.
Amen.
No, I'll tell you what though, but on a serious note, tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., find you a good Eagle station up in Philly. You can just search the internet.
Oh, I'm gonna be
and you'll
searching
be able to find
iHeartRadio.
one
I'm gonna find
because
wanna hear it.
it's going to be entertainment.
one.
If
I
you
don't
never
think
heard,
they will all be still drunk from the night before while they're
oh
doing this.
boy,
Man. Some of them right now are looking for a Philly cheesesteak to try to get soak up some of the alcohol, because they only got a few hours before they got to get on the air.
I mean, the Phillies get beat. The Eagles
that's
get
a
beat.
bad night. Oh, I didn't even
I
put
mean,
it together, Gary.
I mean,
Why
they right about now
Phillies lose in the 11th inning.
they
Oh.
finished off some cheap bourbon, some vodka. They've already beat the wife, kicked the dog, threw the cat out the window. Now they're going down to burn part of downtown Philly down because the fuck. We don't have any sports teams. They're a bunch of losers.
Okay, Jalen, I have one more thing to say, then we can get out of here. June, I know that you're going to be the one for sure, just because I hate to say it, but you're furloughed right now, so you ain't got nothing else to do but to get on there. How much money would you bet that the Phillies lose? They're out of the playoffs, losing in the 11th inning, right?
Mhm.
The Eagles get embarrassed by the Giants. These sports shows tomorrow morning, when they get on 9 a.m. their time, are they leading with the Eagles or are they leading with the Phillies? Because I think they're leading with the Phillies. Or I think they're leading with the
they
Eagles.
lead with
I think they're
Phillies.
leading with the Eagles. I think they're going to lead with the Eagles. I think they're that they're that crazy.
Yeah, that
that
jaded.
they'll lead with the Eagles, even though the Phillies just lost in the NLDS in the 11th inning. I think they're going to lead with the Eagles, losing to the Giants.
Yeah.
And the
We need to
Flyers
find
lost
a
too.
script. We need to find a
The Flyers
podcast.
lost tonight
Don't
too.
hear it live.
Oh
Even if we
shit.
don't hear it live, we need to hear like the first 5 minutes. We need to find the first 5 minutes of the top
Yeah.
Philly radio show. to hear how diabolical that shit's gonna be.
It's gonna
Uh,
be nasty, bro. It's gonna be nasty.
Shout out to Big Task at Hand in the chat. He just said belt to ass and then put a bunch of emojis.
No, it's gonna be live. I can't. That's gonna be
Uh,
fun. That's gonna be crazy in the morning. They,
Well.
I don't even know if I'm a Philly radio host. I may not let any live callers call in tomorrow.
No, because you're gonna lose your job, man. The dump
You
button
had the
doesn't work that
Eagles-
fast.
Dude, the Eagles lost, the Phillies lost, and the Flyers lost on opening night. It's a bad night.
Oh,
It's a bad
Fucking-
night to be in Philadelphia.
God, I am going.
trifecta.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. I'm gonna find it on iHeart tomorrow. I'm going to relish in it, as these are the same assholes that are burning cars and getting brain damage off of climbing up freaking street signs and shit.
Yeah.
And
So
eating horse shit. Don't forget about that.
they deserve this, Billy.
Y'all know, they eat
Shush.
horse shit too.
Okay. That will do it for this
Yep.
recap of Thursday Night Football. Folks, we will see you all next week for our normal time, Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and hey, thanks for tuning in for this brief broadcast. See you next time. Peace out.
Peace.